Yeah, the results for sure. Got out of there scoreless, minimal pitches. I feel good. I'm healthy. I felt like I was a little bit amped up out there. I was real excited to be back in a game. It's been a while, especially in a new uniform and a lot of adrenaline. So I feel like I wasn't as sharp as I could be, but it was effective.
You threw three balls, and I think you threw four of your pitches. Is that correct? And so that what do you like when you're not amped up?
I only threw three balls tonight.
Yeah,
Oh, um,
didn't
I
feel
think that's
sharp, huh?
what's that?
Didn't feel sharp, huh?
No, I mean I was around the zone. I mean I wasn't as efficient with my fastball as I wanted to be. I didn't throw very good two strike pitches until that last at bat that I got the strikeout on. It's a good starting point for sure. I'm not trying to knock it at all, but I just feel like for my standards, I expect a little bit sharper with the fastball, which is going to be really important as we get into anything further than 2 innings. So I kind of forgot your question. I started
Did
talking.
you? I asked if it was four pitches that you threw to me.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I threw the four seam, the sinker, curveball, and the slider. I don't think I threw any changeups tonight.
The news just came out today that California is going to allow fans for opening day.
Hey, big news.
I just wanted to get your reaction to that.
Yeah, it's exciting, man. I mean, we were talking about it the other day. It's kind of strange having the crowd noise last year. It was a constant like buzz of some kind of noise and whatnot. And now that we're having some fans back, it's obviously way more exciting for us to have some actual interaction and a realistic type environment. The pumping the crowd noise during like big moments in the game or strikes, balls. It's kind of hard to gauge the sound in those stadiums when you're running sound noise in there. But it was cool to get a little bit of that tonight. But it is a little bit more quiet now that there's not the constant buzz. We're used to having some kind of noise in the background, and with there being limited fans in between pitches, it's pretty quiet out there. But I'm thrilled to have fans in San Diego. I know it's a bigger stadium, so we'll get a lot more than what we have here. But I know these fans are excited, and it's been a long time since they've been able to come to games, and I know they're waiting to watch this team. So, yeah, I mean, with that guy we got behind the plate and Nola and the defense behind me, I love pitching in this uniform. It's just, man, it's fun to watch these guys play, and it's really exciting to be a part of it. And just the at bats that these guys had tonight. I mean, it's every night, but Grish is just so good at the plate, especially for a leadoff hitter. He sees a lot of pitches. He's patient. I think we did a really good job of controlling the strike zone from the plate side for the 2 innings I was out there. Aggressive on the base pass. Guys are moving runners over. We're just like not selfish at bats. It was a lot of exciting things that I got to see tonight, and it's exciting to be a part of that. I think we're going to win a lot of games.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about your curveball. You threw that more last year percentage-wise than you had earlier in your career.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a pitch that has evolved for you? Did you maybe credit that with that dominant September you had last year? Just can you talk a little bit about your curveball?
Yeah, it gave me a better weapon to lefties. I was struggling with lefties a bit, and I had what I thought was a good attack plan to use against the lefties, and the results were telling me different. So I had to make an adjustment, and the curveball going into the season last year was probably my worst pitch. Out of the 6 I throw, I would have probably ranked that 5th or 6th. But we put a lot of work into it. I created this, and not alone. Oscar Marine, our pitching coach in Pittsburgh last year, along with some drills that I learned back in my Houston days from Brent Strom and some of those guys. We just found a good way to kind of redesign a pitch that felt comfortable in my hand and got the shape and the action that we wanted. The velo is kind of secondary to me, but something that gives me a true 12-to-6 motion. That's a separator between my slider and my cutter, which are more lateral movements. Something that I can get more depth with and use off of my fastball, and just give me a way better attack plan to use against lefties. So we really hammered that last year, and that was something that I've carried into this year, into the off season, with those drills and the progressions that I use to get that pitch ready. And it's been a good weapon for me, and I didn't intend to throw it as much as I did last year. It was so good for me. I just kept using it. Our catchers love putting it down. So, and I'm big on, I don't shake very often. I think I shook one time tonight in 2 innings, and that's just really because I couldn't tell what signs he was putting down. But, I believe that I'm the muscle and he's the brains. You tell me where you want it and I'll put it there.
Hi, Joe. I know that Trevor Hoffman was at camp at least today, and I think yesterday as well. And you mentioned he coached you in the futures game.
Yeah.
What was it like having him around today?
Oh, it's exciting. I got lucky enough to be around him a couple off seasons. We had a similar connection with a lady that we did some yoga type classes with. So I would see him for about an hour every morning at the workouts, and we get to talk baseball a little bit. But the environment didn't really allow us to talk because we're working out and sweating, and there's a bunch of people in there. So getting to have a little bit more one-on-one time and talk with him about some of the things, because he was watching our game of catch, and he was making some adjustments with my catch partner, and I asked him after what he was looking at, and just hearing his perspective on some things is really interesting. But he's a good dude, and I feel like I can call him my friend. I've known him for a couple of years now, so it's exciting to be in the same uniform and get to have him access to him for the day.
And I get it's a spring training lineup, spring training game, but what did you just think of the lineup that Jace Tingler put out there behind you today?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's fun to pitch when you got those guys behind you, and with as aggressive as we are on the base paths, and as good as we are at the plate at being selective and getting pitches to hit, it's going to put us in a position as pitchers to win a lot of games this year. So knowing we have that that defense and that offensive power, it allows us to go out there with all the confidence in the world and just attack the strike zone and be quick and be efficient and get our guys back in the dugout so they can swing it.